Today we're going to delve into a crucial topic, understanding reverse racism in Des Moines public schools. This is a conversation that not only is relevant, but is necessary in our education system. In recent years, it has become increasingly clear that reverse racism is a pervasive problem in education systems across the country. Reverse racism is a concept often used to describe perceived discrimination or prejudice against members of a majority racial or ethnic group, typically by a marginalized community. The focus on diversity of program populations, for example, Central Academy, has often resulted in uneven opportunities for other students, detracting from the quality of education received by all. To understand the current landscape, we need to look at the historical context of racial dynamics in Des Moines Public School. This includes examining past incidents or policies related to racial discrimination that have shaped the environment we see today. Tinker v. Des Moines, this landmark case highlighted students' right to free speech in schools. The involvement of Black students in contesting racial discrimination underscores the long-standing struggle against inequality. Shoemaker, 2019. Despite being the first state to desegregate schools in 1868, underlying segregation still persists in Iowa, including Des Moines, due to to housing patterns. Des Moines implemented policies in the 1930s and 1960s to restrict housing options for Black residents, contributing to racial disparities in education and housing. Des Moines Public Schools embarked on a district-wide anti-racist transformation in 2020, aiming to address systematic racism and promote equity. Examining these historical factors shed light on the enduring racial disparities and the ongoing efforts to address them in Des Moines Public Schools. According to Des Moines Public Schools' 20 Years Later article, 2022, the percent of DMPS students who are non-white has more than doubled in the past 20 years, from 30.4% in 2001 and to 65.3% in the 2021-2022 school year. DMPS experienced a loss of 2,351 students due to open enrollment, which may reflect dissatisfaction or concerns among families regarding racial dynamics or other factors. Despite efforts to maintain a non-discriminatory environment, racial tensions may persist. The demographic changes and loss of students could be indicative of underlying issues related to racism and equity. When looking at the criterion for students to attend 7th grade prep academy, it states that students must either be a member of a nationally recognized underrepresented demographic group in gifted education or have a family income that would qualify a student for the federal free and reduced price meal program. This is from Des Moines Public Schools, 2024. Batrich et al., 2021, shed light on the educator's role in sorting students, revealing how biased recommendations based on socioeconomic and ethnic backgrounds perpetuate inequality. Even though there are 31,024 students enrolled in Des Moines Public School District, 13,119 in 7th through 12th grade, only 1,300 of them are accepted into Central Academy. That is only 9% of the middle and high school students that get to take advanced placement classes. Fink et al., 2020, document racial enrollment gaps in AP courses, revealing how district-level resources and policies widen disparities in access to advanced education. Further diving into the Des Moines Public School website, I discovered that there is only 29 teachers at Central Academy, which limits the possibility of increased enrollment even more. According to the DMPS article, DMPS embarks on district anti-racist transformation in 2021. DMPS Superintendent Tom Ahart introduced a challenge to district administration and staff to become anti-racist. This created a movement of anti-racist town hall, which involved hundreds of parents, students, staff, and other community members and allowed them to examine the systematic racism within our schools. The findings of the anti-racist town hall were astonishing. Finding number 1 was that the current approach to teaching, learning, and assessment is driven by adults using whitewashed curriculum. Finding number 2 was that the current approach to recruitment, selection, and retainment of staff produced a majority of white staffing population. Finding number 3 said that there was no consistency across all positions within the district to create positive, supportive school experiences for students. And finding number 4, the current school system is perpetuating systematic racism. This goes to show how much change the district needs to attack towards racial equality. Educational inequalities are deeply rooted in our society and can be seen in terms of opportunities, outcomes, and resources. These inequalities disproportionately affect students of color and have a wide range of negative effects on their academic achievement and overall well-being. A commitment to fairness and equality for all students is necessary to address these challenges and ensure that every child has the opportunity to reach their full potential. As a teacher of a 7th and 8th grade this year, I have been able to work alongside of a student and his parents, working against the racism of Central Academy criterion. Since the student's father was on the school board at one point, he knows about Central Academy and the opportunities it can provide students. When his son wasn't chosen for 7th grade prep academy, he knew that it was because he was a white boy that comes from a higher income household. His son exceeded every other criteria. He had straight A's, he placed high on his exams, and he had no behavior issues. The only thing stopping him from attending was something the student had no control over. Most parents and even students aren't aware of Central Academy unless they have a personal connection to it. So a lot of students that would qualify and don't make it don't even realize what opportunity they're missing out on. The parents of my student did know, though. They knew what kind of success could come out of their student attending Central Academy, so they fought tooth and nail to get him there. They went to the Gifted and Talented, which is the GT coordinator of the middle school. They went to the principal, the school board, the head of GT, and the head of Central Academy. After having a meeting with all of these people and myself, it was decided that he would move to 8th grade math to finish the year, see how he did, and he was eventually invited to Central Academy for 8th grade. Recently, House File 802 was passed in the state of Iowa. According to Ian Richardson of 2021, this law prohibits educators and government policies from promoting diverse concepts related to race and sexism in diversity training programs. It aims to prevent the teaching of concepts associated with critical race theory, emphasizing a stance against what some perceive as indoctrination. The law reflects a broader debate about the role of race and racism in education, with proponents arguing for a more inclusive curriculum and opponents expressing concerns about divisive teaching. Community involvement plays a crucial role in addressing reverse racism in Des Moines public schools. Fostering partnerships with local organizations and initiatives are one of the most key factors. Organizations like the City of Des Moines, led by the Director of Civil and Human Rights, worked in partnership with DMPS to address racial equity issues. The Board of Directors encouraged community participation in district-wide activities and decisions, promoting inclusivity and diverse perspectives. According to the Des Moines Register, LeBlanc 2020, in 2020, a new position was created in response to the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor at the hands of police officers. The position is Principal on Special Assignment, held by Peter LeBlanc. LeBlanc is responsible for supporting staff who are Black, Indigenous, and people of color, and work to retain and recruit diverse employees. After reading Despite the Best Intentions, How Racial Inequality Thrives in Good Schools by Diamond and Lewis, 2015, This exemplifies Riverview High School's struggle, showcasing how racial inequality thrives despite ample resources and trained teachers. Training and development for faculty and staff are crucial in addressing reverse racism within educational institutions. Training sessions increase awareness of systematic biases and privilege, enabling educators to recognize and address instances of reverse racism. Educators learn strategies to create inclusive classroom environments where all students feel valued and respected, regardless of their race and ethnicity. Development programs enhance educators' cultural competence, equipping them with skills needed to effectively engage with diverse student populations. Des Moines Public School provides educators with vector solutions trainings. The only topic that is covered that comes close to racism is general ethics in the workplace. On the screen is a quote from Peter LeBlanc, the newly appointed Director of Talent Support at Des Moines Public. On the topic of anti-racism and equity, he stated, "We are not going to train equity into you, and we are not going to train bias out of you. That is work you're going to have to own and do yourselves." What I wonder then is, what is the point of creating his position as someone who is responsible for supporting staff who are Black, Indigenous, and people of color and work to retain and recruit diverse employees if he is stating he is not going to train equity and on biases? Black students have experienced trauma, racism, racial microaggressions, and lack of advanced opportunities within DMPS, indicating systematic issues. DMPS initiated an anti-racist transformation to root out racism across all facets of the district, but has done so in a way that makes their white, middle to upper class income students feel the effects of the overcorrection. Specifically, advanced educational opportunities like Central Academy have been at the forefront. Only 9% of the district students get to participate in classes like culinary arts, fashion, agriculture, and nursing. Only 9% of students get to deeply pursue their interests and dreams. Empathy plays a crucial role in addressing reverse racism by fostering understanding, compassion, and perspective taking. It helps individuals recognize the experiences and challenges faced by those who are marginalized or discriminated against, including individuals who may be targets of reverse racism. By cultivating empathy, people can engage in meaningful conversations, acknowledge the impact of discrimination, and work towards creating inclusive environments. We need to provide opportunities for learning about the historical context and systematic factors of contributing to reverse racism. Encourage open discussions to explore diverse perspectives and experiences. Create safe spaces for students and faculty to share their experiences, concerns, and questions regarding racism and discrimination. Encourage active listening and respectful communication. Encourage involvement in community service or social justice initiatives to connect with individuals from diverse backgrounds and address real-world issues. This promotes empathy through action and advocacy. Creating inclusive spaces involves multifaceted approaches that address various aspects of the educational environment. Here are some strategies considering curriculum, extracurricular activities, and school culture. Incorporate diverse perspectives, authors, and cultural content into the curriculum to reflect the backgrounds of all students. This promotes representation and validates students' identities. Use inclusive language that respects gender, ethnicity, ability, and other identities to create a welcoming atmosphere. This fosters a sense of belonging and acceptance. Establish and enforce behavior standards that promote respect, empathy, and understanding among students. This ensures a safe and supportive learning environment for everyone. Adopt teaching practices that acknowledge and honor students' cultural backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives. This enhances engagement and relevance in learning. Facilitate community building activities such as group discussions, cooperative projects, and team building exercises to foster connections and mutual respect among students. This strengthens bonds and reduces hate in the classroom. Many Central Student Academy students participated in the Color of Justice program, which encourages students from underrepresented backgrounds to consider career opportunities in the legal field. Many elementary schools participated in memory walks based on equity, equality, and racism. DMPS Racial Justice and Equity, a student-led group, organized a walkout protest against legislation that could exacerbate racial disparities, including bills related to charter schools and diversity training. Des Moines Public School students staged a protest at the Iowa Capitol, urging lawmakers to reject bills promoting charter schools and banning divisive concepts, which could perpetuate racial inequalities. Black students in Des Moines Public Schools actively advocate for racial justice and equity, working towards systematic change within their schools and communities. These are just a few examples of student-led initiatives and advocacy efforts to combat reverse racism. Key takeaways from the challenges faced in addressing reverse racism are that DMPS has encountered systematic racism impacting employees and students, highlighting the need for anti-racial initiatives. Parents and students expressed concerns about racial discrimination within the school system, urging swift action to address these issues. The district must remain committed to equity, inclusion, and compliance, ensuring fair treatment for all students and staff. DMPS should continually evaluate and improve its policies and practices to create a more equitable learning environment. And engaging parents, students, educators, and community members in dialogue and decision-making processes foster transparency and accountability in addressing racial disparities. In conclusion, addressing racial disparities in education requires acknowledging and dismantling systemic biases. Continued efforts to combat reverse racism are essential for promoting fairness, justice, and inclusivity in Des Moines Public Schools, ensuring that all students have equal opportunities to succeed, regardless of race or ethnicity. Let us commit to creating an inclusive educational environment where every student has equal opportunities to thrive. Thank you for listening, and here are my resource pages.